Thank you for watching Meet Retail. I'm your host, Jason, and today I'm very excited to sit down with one of the elite fitness expert in the field. His name is Alex Zunica. He founded this company called EliteSpartans, which have helped hundreds and thousands of people to stay healthy and fit. Today, Alex is very kind enough to share his personal success story as well as challenges as a small business owner. Welcome on the show.
Thank you so much, Jason.
Thank you for
having me.
thank you for your time. I know you're a very extreme busy person, and then thank you for sitting down with me to do this interview.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. So to start off, let's talk about a little bit about yourself, like where you're from and how did you find this EliteSpartans?
Okay. Well, originally I'm from Mexico City. I've been here in the States only 14 years. I moved here to this country in 2005. From 2005, I started a Bali Total Fitness back in the days, this big box gym, in 2007.
Okay.
At that time, I was going to San Jose State University pursuing my career on business. So eventually, 6 years, 7 years fast forward, the company went out of business. And I decided at that time that I didn't know if I was going to go back to my country or continue pursuing my career, my fitness passion, which was personal training at that time and teaching small group classes. I was dating my girlfriend. That's one of the reasons why I ended up staying here instead of going back. Came here as an international student. And then I started training one person at a time, just like in my apartment complex studio. I started training people one at a time. It started growing and growing. And then at some point I had 6 or 7 people. So I ended up going to start doing boot camps at the park. I started doing boot camps at the park. And at that time I went to, I decided I had to start somewhere. So I started subleasing for about 2 years in a small studio from other people. And then I finally came up with this.
That's very fascinating. So before I want to get into how you start the business, how did you, like, I hear a little bit about your childhood, like what happened, like why are you fascinated in this fitness industry? Like I remember like we had this off-camera conversation. You told me about what happened to you when the accident. Can you tell the audience a little bit about that?
Well, I had an accident in Mexico. It's our culture, right? Everything is about soccer. So I was playing soccer for almost 20 years. Actually, in the first semester here, I was actually here at school when I went on spring break to visit my family and my parents. And then getting out of the restaurant at that time, having dinner with my friends, got in the back seat of the car and a drunk driver passed out on the wheel and rear-ended us at 70 miles per hour. I don't remember this part, but then I woke up 2 days later after being in coma, and then I couldn't move completely my left leg. So I have a permanent damage on my left leg, my L2, my lumbar 2, and my lumbar 3. They're completely compressed. And then I couldn't, one of the things I remember from several doctors is that I will never be able to walk normal again. That obviously was shocking. And back then I just decided that I wanted to start rehab. This is 14 years ago. I don't know if it was maybe the misinformation or it was a little bit of a scarcity that I didn't believe in the back surgery. The doctor told me you need to have a surgery so we can put a small plate between your lumbars and then you'll be able to walk again and not pinching those nerves, which they were causing back then a lot of pain. I was in a lot of painkillers back then. But I've heard from people like, no, if you have a back surgery, this is bad. This is it's not good. Regardless, you probably won't be able to walk. So I decided to go on my own and just start working on core rehabilitation movements. I was limping for almost 2 years with my left leg. And then because of that and the damage on my nerve on my sciatica, I completely damaged my nerve from my back to all the way back to my calf and my toe. So that's the damage that it is. But I can walk normal. I can run, not as fast as I would like to run, of course. And and I'm able to lift. The only thing that sometimes causes me problems is the rotation on my hips. I cannot have that mobility. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for sharing your personal story. So I have a lot of questions. So you were saying that you love to play soccer, track and field is your thing. You love to run, you love to walk. What's in your mind that when the doctor first tell you that, Alex, you might not be able to walk ever again or run? What's that going through your mind?
It was shocking, definitely. It was shocking back then. It was depression. At some point I was diagnosed depressed.
Yes, let me stop you right there. Depression, like there are so many athletes, they suffer depression. How do people overcome this depression?
Well, back then I didn't know any better. So I remember that, again, the only thing I knew, I had my parents, and they say, don't take the pills because you get addicted. And it, again, probably was misinformation. So I'm like, okay. So I started taking the pills, antidepressant, for about 2 weeks, and I was feeling better, right?
Okay.
But then every time I stopped taking the pills, I felt like I was crashing back down to depression again. And then I decided to start rehabilitating. So I did back then I did a lot of swimming, which I heard was like a no impact on my legs, so I could work on my core too. A lot of core exercises and rehabilitation for my hamstring and my left leg. Then I stopped taking them. So my family said, you should stop taking those pills. I didn't want my body to get addicted. Maybe it was ignorance at the same time. Probably would have helped me faster. But definitely that shocking moment in my life made me appreciate my health more. Once I was able to at least being able to walk normal and not limp, I felt really good. I was here back in the States, and I was working as a personal trainer at Bali Total Fitness. And I remember people who they were not injured, or people who lose that confidence because they didn't, they gained weight, or they were never like into working out. That was making me very, very happy. Like, it was very rewarding for me to the first years of personal training, just helping people to achieve their fitness goals. I remember going to work feeling very happy, feeling that I could help people to not feel what I was feeling at that time, right? Feeling insecure, depressed, that lack of confidence. So that was the beginning of my career, and that's what I was able to start getting very passionate and start obviously getting more credentials, more degrees as far as personal training.
So your passion is to inspire and helping people, right? And then let's back it up a little bit. You have mentioned a couple times your family. So what is your relationship with your family? What's your family's role like in helping you to get through that hump, that thing you want to like overcome it? Like, how is your family helping you like in this situation?
How they were helping me? Well, family was everything. I don't think I would have been able to make it through without my family, right? They are all in Mexico City. I'm from Mexico City, and I was able to afford even the treatment, because the treatment
it's not
expensive. And then they were the backbone. They were all my support mentally and physically. My mom was there all the time, helping me, cooking for me, cheering me up every day, trying to help me to just overcome that huge obstacle in my life.
What kind of meals is she preparing for you?
Oh, she was the meal, the meals of Mexican food. You know, always Mexican food. A lot of Mexican plates, Mexican chicken soup, milanesa, which is a fried steak with potatoes, a very traditional plate. Chili rellenos, all that stuff.
So the family recipe is really important, but then does it conflict with your fitness journey? Like, you know, because sometimes the meal they're preparing is not the meal that you want for your workout.
No, obviously no. But then at that time you have to balance it out, right? So either at the beginning you're just focused on just being able to walk normal. So at the beginning, the last thing you're thinking is, oh, I want to be fit and I want to look good. Remember, the beginning of my career started with me like not being able to work out, gaining 30 pounds.
Oh wow!
I couldn't work out.
How much do you weigh?
Back in the days, I feel like I almost hit 200 pounds back then.
Okay.
But then with my height, 200 pounds, I should be in like a 160 or 165.
Yes.
So my whole life, I was in between 155, 160. So going from 160 to almost 200 pounds.
Yes, that's a
lot
huge
for
jump.
me. And obviously, not only the weight, so you lose your confidence, but I lost my confidence. But not being able to walk, it was even worse. So
yes.
That's what, to answer your question, I wasn't thinking about looking good or having a six-pack. I was just more focused on
getting your feet up.
Just at least being able to walk and be normal.
So after you coming back from Mexico, were you like sitting in the, like laying in the bed, or are you sitting inside a wheelchair?
The doctor said you have to at least use a cane. I wasn't able to be sitting for long a period of times. I couldn't be standing or sitting because the pressure on my back, it was so hard. So going to San Siste, I have to go to the teachers, every new teacher at the beginning of the semester, explain my injury, and I had to be standing up on the back of the classroom. I have to have my back against the wall with my legs semi-bent.
Oh, wow.
Because I couldn't sit on the chairs.
Did you get make fun of?
Yeah, I don't remember here because this is in college. I don't think people will make fun of, but people definitely look at you with pity, right? So they know like you become handicapped, right?
Yes.
And people either look at you with pity. I remember being in college is the time when you start dating, and I didn't have that many dates because obviously there were not many girls who wanted to go out with a handicapped guy, a guy who was limping and dragging his leg all the time.
So what motivated you?
Just trying to be normal. I think at that time, definitely you think about going out with girls will be nice to be normal. Yes. But what motivated me, for me, was more at least being able to run. I grew up playing soccer, being a runner, and at least being able to run, it was my motivation. Right?
How many seconds do you run?
At the beginning, I couldn't. How many seconds was?
Running like 100 meter or
100
like
meters, it was a 10 seconds and 46 decimals.
No way! Wow.
That's one of
From not being able to walk, then
to go to speed. Yeah. So that took me almost 3.5 years.
Wow.
So it's a long time, but then just you go from limping and being in a wheelchair to start walking normal and trying to avoid the pain and then do all those things.
It's just your will, and you're a very competitive person. If you want to do something, stubborn, you're gonna achieve it. So after Bali's Total Fitness, then how did you transform this EliteSpartans?
At the Bali Total Fitness, I started training people in the apartment complex where I used to live in 2012. And then from there, I was for about probably 1.5 years, 2 years, training one-on-one in my apartment complex. And then when I got kicked out, because obviously out of my apartment complex, the apartment complex, the gym, the fitness place that was at the apartment complex, it was for the tenants.
But not for commercial.
Business,
yes.
So then the neighbors started complaining at some point. Some of the neighbors, I used to train some of the neighbors, they were happy. But some of the other neighbors, they were like, this guy is always here for 3 or 4 people.
Hey, you should tell them to sign up.
Exactly, right? I was pitching, I was doing my sales pitch at that time. But then pretty much they didn't let me continue training people, and I started training people on the park. So
on the park,
in between my dream and making ends meet, so that's what I had to continue pushing and driving and doing my marketing to get more people. And then at some point, I was selling memberships in the park, just Saturday and Sundays. Like how do
you sell membership at the park?
You just pitch like you're there all the time. You build that credibility, and then the same people would
show up,
and I say, hey, it'll be cheaper if you pay. I don't know. I think at that time I was charging $60 a month for 8 days, which it was 4 Saturdays and 4 Sundays,
Uh-huh.
and it was unlimited classes. You can take 8 a.m.
They
9
just
a.m.
need to show up. They know you're gonna be there.
It's like people that were giving me the credit cards, and I was like, yeah, they don't. But then I was there 52 Saturdays of the year. I was there every weekend.
For how long?
About almost 2 years.
And
About
then,
almost 2 years.
and then for 2 years, and then you start looking for a new
Then
place.
I started. Obviously, I didn't have the capital, and I didn't
Yes.
have the funds to start with. To obviously start my own business. So I
Yes.
started subleasing. So there was a few gyms who they could do sublease at
Mm-hmm.
that time. You could sublease, and I was subleasing at that time for almost 2 years until 2014, almost 2015, when I opened this place.